This is Chris with AFT out of Painted Mountain. I'd just like to show you all how I work through some of the details to make sure that the trades know what the final result needs to be and what the vision is of the design team, the client, and AFT. The original blueprint from the exterior elevation showed a large window here, and the client had the idea of making it, elongating the window, but because of this landing, we couldn't take it below at that same width. So I used the drawing to kind of show them how narrowing the window, you could get more height and create this 20 foot window, and you weren't losing anything. You're actually gaining. Here's a good example of how working things out on paper gives us a spectacular product that utilizes the full space, top to bottom. By doing my drawings to scale, it can help me work through a lot of the answers that the fabricators are going to need. The thickness of the flooring, the thickness of the subflooring, and their actual dimensions. You know, it's one thing to say the space between the treads are 7 1/4, but it's another thing to dial in exactly where that tube steel needs to be to allow for the 3/4 plywood, the 3/4 stone, thin set, and all those other details that go in. In order to create this exaggerated overhang, we had to frame this entire staircase out of tube steel. We used 1/4 inch by 1.5 inch heavy steel so that this base could be solid. But the fabricator needed all the dimensions so that there's a certain amount of control that needs to go in, and somebody has to take responsibility for that. But you could see the result. And when this lights up, you're gonna have this amazing floating staircase that the designer wanted, but it wasn't a frame. It wasn't a condition where you could just come in and have the framers frame this out. It needed some special attention, and we knew that, and we were able to give it to them. Again, working through these dimensions and figuring things out on paper, for me, helps dial in exactly, do the research actively of what's the length of a Q stick? What's our actual finished thickness going to be, so that we can get to the end result that is gonna work and function. And it's a little bit, it's a responsibility that we have as supers to figure all that out. And that's how I do it on paper.